千里之行，始于足下. A journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath the feet. We now gather in the Tao to travel the journey together. Welcome to Tao Talks with Eric Lin, where we delve deeply into the Daodejing by Lao Tzu. So I want to illustrate that with a story. I want to illustrate that particular wisdom. The wisdom to know that you have enough, that you're still motivated, but you also know the balance of taking the time to enjoy what you possess. How can we have that wisdom? Throughout history, sages have told stories to make this point. There's one that I would like to share with you. This image that you see here is a depiction of Confucius, which in Mandarin, Kongzi, and also called Confuci. Confuci is where Confucius came from. Confucius is the Latin version of Confuci. And next to him, to the right in this image, a younger man. This is Yan Hui, his star pupil. So this is a story written by Zhuangzi to talk about this particular topic, contentment. Hence the title that you see here, Confucius on Contentment. Zhuangzi wrote many stories centering around Confucius, and many of these stories were about conversations that Confucius had with his disciple, Yan Hui. So keep in mind, Confucius lived during the Warring States period, when there was a lot of chaos and strife. Confucius often encouraged his students to counsel the various kings and warlords as advisors. He saw this as something they could do as scholars to steer ancient China toward peace and away from chaos. Confucius himself traveled to the various kingdoms, attempting to do exactly that. So because he advocated this and he did it himself, he practiced what he taught, he found it a little puzzling that his star pupil, Yan Hui, stayed back to live the simple life. Yan Hui seemed to be disinclined to pursue high-level positions within the various courts belonging to those rulers. So one day, Confucius decided to ask Yan Hui about this. So he beckoned his student, Yan Hui, come over here. Come here. I have a question for you. Confucius said, you're from a background of poverty, and you still don't have a whole lot in material things. Now, I know you are very intelligent, highly talented. I know you will make a great advisor for any ruler. So I have to ask you, why aren't you out there seeking such a position? Yan Hui responded. He said, Master, I have no interest in such a position. For, you see, I have a small plot of land outside the city. And that land, even though small, it's quite sufficient for me to plant crop for food to feed myself. I also have another small plot of land within the city, and that plot of land, even though small, is sufficient for my other needs. And other than the necessities of life, I find that playing music is quite sufficient for me to entertain myself. Also, studying the Tao principles that you have taught me is quite sufficient for me to feed my mind, my intellect. So because of all this, I have no interest in pursuing high-level positions. So Yan Hui did not say it, but it was apparent what he meant was, I have what I need. I don't need any more than this. This is the source of my joy in life. Now, Confucius contemplated the answer from his pupil, Yan Hui. He found what the younger man said quite convincing. He was impressed, and his expression changed from concern to understanding. So he nodded. He said, very good. Your intentions are definitely on the right track. He said, I have heard the following expression. 知足者，不以利自累也。审之德者，失之而不倦。行修于内者，无畏而不作。He said, I have thought about this expression for a long time, but now I see that they are realized in the words you have spoken. What do these expressions mean? Those who know contentment, 知足者, will not exhaust themselves by pursuing greed. 不以利自累也. Those who are self-sufficient, 审之德者, would not fear the loss of material things. 失之而不惧. Those who cultivate internally, 行修于内者, would not feel ashamed for the lack of position. 无畏而不作. So this is the way of Zhuangzi to express these ideas in a more concrete way. Why would it be that those who are self-sufficient, those who are content, that they don't fear the loss of material things? They follow the Tao, so they understand what they lose, they are able to regain. This is the kind of spiritual power and spiritual strength that comes from Tao cultivation. It is the reason why we study the Tao. So everyone, if you are interested in more stories from Zhuangzi, additional stories can be found in my book, The Tao of Happiness. If you are not yet familiar with Zhuangzi, he was the sage who taught the Tao through stories. Many of his ideas, concepts, and expressions have been woven into the fabric of Chinese culture. And just as we have learned in this chapter, throughout Chinese history, sometimes the Tao is well known and practiced, and sometimes not. But like the Tao, the stories from Zhuangzi are always there, waiting for a time when people are ready to delve into the teachings once again. It's an important part of what we are doing together. So, as you can probably imagine, it was very important for me personally to write this book. Our meeting has come to an end, but the journey continues on. Let us travel safely. Until next time, may the Tao fill you with peace and happiness.